Music majors are the most likely group of college graduates to be admitted to medical school. Not pre-med students, not biology majors, not chemistry majors. Music majors. Let that sit for a second. The kids who spent their high school years learning Beethoven and practicing scales are outcompeting the kids who spent those same years doing AP biology and memorizing the periodic table when it comes to getting into medical school. And yet right now, across the United States, school boards are voting to cut music programs. Budget meeting after budget meeting. We need to prioritize core academics. Math and reading come first. Music is a nice to have. Here's what I want to know. What if they're wrong? What if music isn't the extra? What if music is the thing that's been making everything else work this whole time? Because I went through the research. The neuroscience, the longitudinal studies, the IQ data, the graduation rates, and what I found is not what I expected. Stay with me. This one's going to change how you think about a class most of us took for granted. Section 1. What music does to the brain. Let's start with the brain, because this is where it gets genuinely wild. When a child learns to read, one part of the brain activates. When a child does math, another part activates. When a child plays music, almost every part of the brain activates, simultaneously. Not USC researchers studying children who received music instruction found something that should be front-page news. Music training literally speeds up the maturation of the auditory pathway in the brain. The brain develops faster, more efficiently. Kids who learned music were measurably more accurate at processing sound. Not just musical sound, but all sound, including language, including speech, including the teacher talking at the front of the classroom. And here's what I find fascinating. Those brain changes showed up in children as young as 4 to 6 years old, after just 4 months of music lessons. 4 months. Not 4 years, 4 months. Stat. Children who took just 1 year of music lessons showed an average IQ increase of 7 points compared to peers who didn't. University of Toronto study by Dr. E. Glenn Schellenberg. Now here's a question I want you to hold. If a supplement existed that grew children's brains faster, improved their IQ, boosted their SAT scores, kept them off drugs, and increased their graduation rate, how much would American parents pay for it? It turns out it costs about $30 a month in instrument rental fees. The core academics argument dismantled. Now, let me address the school board logic directly. We have limited funding. We need to prioritize reading and math. Music is a luxury. Here's the problem with that argument. Music is reading. Music is math. Reading music requires decoding symbols, understanding patterns, and processing language, the exact same cognitive systems used to read English. Learning rhythm requires counting, fractions, and pattern recognition, the exact same systems used in mathematics. Cutting music to improve academics is like cutting recess to improve focus. We actually tried that too, also didn't work. Section 2. The SAT numbers. Students who took 4 years of music and art classes in high school scored an average of 91 points higher on their SATs than students who took a semester or less. 91 points. That's a different college tier. And before you say, well, the smarter kids just chose music, a 2004 study by Dr. E. Glenn Schellenberg randomly assigned 6-year-olds to either music lessons or no music lessons, controlling for family income, IQ, and everything else. By the end of the year, the music group improved significantly more in IQ scores. Not because they were smarter to begin with, because music made them smarter. Children who initially performed below average, after 1 year of musical training, caught up with their peers across all subjects. 1 year, 1 instrument, everything. Audience check-in number 1. Did you take music in school? Drop your instrument in the comments. Did it feel connected to your other classes or completely separate? Section 3. Language, reading, and dyslexia. Music and language live in overlapping neighborhoods in your brain. They share neural pathways. When you train one, you train the other. Children who learn music develop heightened sensitivity to subtle changes in pitch and rhythm. That sensitivity carries over into the ability to distinguish between similar sounds in language, the difference between bat and bad, or there and there. Children with dyslexia have shown measurable improvement through music training, not through more phonics drills, through music. A 2024 study in the Journal of Human Sciences confirmed musical training directly benefits children with language learning difficulties. We've been throwing more reading at kids who can't read. Some of them needed a piano. Stat: schools with music programs, 93.9% graduation rate. Schools without, 72.9%. A 21-point gap. The drug and dropout numbers. According to a United States Senate resolution, government data, students who participate in school band or orchestra have the lowest levels of current and lifelong use of alcohol, tobacco, and illicit drugs among any group in our society. Lower than athletes, lower than honor roll students. The band nerds are winning. And the 7,000 schools across America with no music programs are overwhelmingly in low-income districts and communities of color. The kids who need music most are the ones being told it doesn't fit the budget. Section 4. What music teaches that no class can. Here's what learning an instrument actually teaches. It teaches you cannot fake mastery. You can bullshit an essay. You cannot fake a Beethoven sonata. It teaches that progress is invisible until it isn't. 3 weeks of scales that feel pointless, and then one morning it flows. That experience of trusting the process before seeing results is one of the most important lessons a human can learn. It teaches performance under pressure. Every recital is practice for every job interview, presentation, and difficult conversation that follows. Music isn't teaching kids music. Music is teaching kids how to be people. Audience check-in number 2. Is there a song that takes you somewhere specific when you hear it? A place, a person, a feeling? Drop it in the comments. Section 5. Emotional regulation. The research. Research from Frontiers in Psychology shows that through music, adolescents regulate and process emotions, developing more positive views of themselves and their future. Research from USC. Music education leads to enhanced well-being and emotional stability. A 2024 University of Helsinki study showed even informal music at home, just singing and playing, improved just sound processing and attention in children as young as 2 to 3 years old. The lullaby you sang at 2 a.m. when you were exhausted, that was brain development. The cheapest, most effective enrichment program ever invented. It cost nothing. Stat: 1.3 million American elementary school kids currently have zero access to a music class. Music majors are the most likely group of college graduates to get into medical school. That's not a coincidence. It's the summary of everything I just walked you through. The brain that learned music learned how to process information faster, hold complexity, stay focused under pressure. Try something hard, fail, practice, and try again. Those are not music skills. Those are life skills, human skills. 42% of music teachers fundraise just to keep basic programs alive. 7,000 schools have no music at all. The districts losing music first are the ones that can least afford to lose anything. What I want you to do. If you have kids, sing with them. Play music in your house. It doesn't have to be classical or formal. If your school has a music program, show up for the concert. Support the teacher. Make noise about keeping it funded. If your school already cut it, make even more noise. The research is on your side. The kid in the back of the orchestra who thinks nobody cares, the research says he might end up being your doctor. If this video made you think, share it with one parent who needs to see it. See you in the next one.